Gene Deal has broken his silence, and the revelations are insane. The Netflix documentary about Diddy? Some of the footage he collected was too controversial to air. But now, Gene is ready to leak all the evidence 50 Cent had to censor. Gene, Diddy's former bodyguard, saw everything up close and finally gave an interview. He was supposed to appear in the documentary and even spoke to 50 Cent for 45 minutes, but the director disrespected him, and he walked away. Now, he's spilling the truth about the City College tragedy. Anthony Wolf Jones, what happened with Kim Porter, and why top celebrities paid to stay out of the doc. Fans are about to see the real, uncensored story. Let's get into it. Before the leaks, you need the full story because it's insane. 50 Cent and Netflix just released Sean Combs' The Reckoning, and it immediately hit #1. Everyone's watching, everyone's talking, but some major stories were left out. Gene Deal, Diddy's longtime bodyguard, witnessed everything. The wild parties, the violence, the business moves, the tragedies. He's been holding on to footage and evidence, waiting for the perfect time to spill the truth. Gene originally wanted to join 50 Cent's project, thinking it was finally the chance to reveal the real story. But after meeting the director, Alex Stapleton, things took a serious turn for the worse.
I want to put her on blast because she was telling me, she was saying to me that what I was asking for was crazy and they wasn't spending money like that. I'm talking about you got footage, you got clothing, you got, I was doing footage, I had pictures, all the stuff that I had, you could figure out a way to pay a brother and stuff like that. And then I was telling her about some prices that I've already received and I had the invoices to show it. And then she was calling me like I was lying.
Gene wanted to do it right. He teamed up with Tim and Kirk Burrows, two men who had known Diddy from the start. Together, they could have told the full story: Diddy's childhood, his street life, and the rise of his empire. Gene asked for $50,000 for all three, fair for the value of their footage. But Alex Stapleton, the director, shocked him. She said 50 Cent didn't control the documentary or payments. His name was only for promotion. Gene had proof of what he deserved, but she called him a liar. Meanwhile, Kirk Burrows made secret side deals. Gene refused to participate. That's why the Netflix documentary felt incomplete. Now, he's finally ready to tell the story the world didn't see. Here's something the documentary barely explored: how Bad Boy Records was really structured. Kirk Burrows owned 25% from day one, while Diddy held 75%, but under his mother Janice Combs' name, to avoid lawsuits after the City College tragedy, where 9 people died at an event Diddy organized. Then Diddy went after Kirk's share. Kirk says Diddy showed up with a baseball bat, threatened him, and forced him to hand over his stake. Kirk tried suing in 2003, but it was dismissed. He lost everything and even became homeless, while Diddy turned billionaire. The documentary mentioned this, but didn't go deep. Gene Deal could have shown exactly how Diddy hid money and dodged legal liability, but it never made it to the screen. Here's where it gets truly dark. Gene Deal says there's a murder story the documentary completely skipped: Anthony Wolf Jones. Wolf was Bad Boy's head of security from the very beginning, even before Clive Davis or any record deals. He was one of Diddy's most loyal men, knowing everything: the secrets, payoffs, and even where bodies were buried. Gene claims Diddy's actions played a direct role in Wolf's death. But the documentary barely mentioned him, showing only a few photos. Wolf was killed by someone tied to BMF, the Black Mafia family, one of hip-hop's most notorious crime groups. This story is real, dangerous, and connected to everything Diddy's empire touched.
feel about the documentary. They left a whole lot of key things out. If they was gonna do something and they're gonna say in the reckoning of Sean Combs, the reckoning, or Diddy, the reckoning and stuff like that, it should have been a lot of people that we lost because of him. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't only Big, it wasn't only Tupac, you understand? For the atmosphere that he put those kids in, you got a guy named Anthony Wolf Jones.
This next story is shocking. The documentary touched on the City College tragedy, but left out crucial details. Gene Deal, who was there that night, says everything you thought you knew is incomplete. On December 28, 1991, Diddy hosted a celebrity basketball game at City College, New York, with Heavy D, Mike Tyson, LL Cool J, and more. Gene Deal's team had 18 men, dogs and gates, ready to control the massive crowd. But the day before, Diddy said Heavy D didn't want Gene's security, so they were fired. On game night, the crowd surged. People were crushed in the stairwell, and Jessica Rosenblum, one of the promoters, panicked and locked the door to protect the cash from ticket sales. That decision trapped hundreds of people, and tragically, 9 lost their lives that night.
Puff, Heavy D, and Jessica. You know what I'm saying? Jessica was the reason why those kids lost their life, because she locked the door on those kids running down the step. You understand? You could see her name in a news article, but they didn't mention nothing about her taking place, but they try to put Heavy D, God bless the dead, out there, and they put Puff out there. You know what I'm saying? She should have been the main one, because she is the one who locked the door on the kids. You understand? She is the one who locked the door.
Gene Deal couldn't get down the stairs because of the crowd and had to circle the gym to enter from another side. By the time he got inside, kids had already died. He tried CPR on a 17-year-old boy, but it wasn't enough. The boy's older brother cried, "This is the first time I ever took my little brother anywhere. My mama is going to kill me." Gene saw it all. He knows who locked that door. But Jessica Rosenblum faced no consequences. The City College tragedy was barely touched in the documentary, which focused on Diddy and Heavy D. Behind the scenes, Gene, Tim, and Kirk Burroughs had the full story, from childhood, business, to street life. But director Alex Stapleton rejected budget requests and made it clear that 50 Cent didn't control what went in the film. The doc was promoted as 50 Cents, but the truth behind the scenes was a different story altogether. Gene Deal felt ignored. He had evidence, footage, and documents, but the director treated him like he didn't matter. Kirk Burroughs was making secret deals, pressuring Gene to accept less money while negotiating his own contract. Frustrated, Gene walked away. That's why the documentary misses major stories, like Kim Porter, Diddy's ex-girlfriend and mother of his kids, who died suddenly in 2018. Gene knew her and protected her, yet her story barely appeared. Diddy's huge A-list parties? Barely mentioned. Gene believes top celebrities paid 50 Cent to stay out, leaving a cleaned-up version of events. Powerful people were protected, while Diddy took the fall. Gene saw it all. Marlon Wayans recently shared his take on the documentary, and fans are curious. Asked if he'd watched it, Marlon said he hasn't and probably won't. He added that the film is just a narrative. When you put stuff together, you can create whatever story you want. Everybody's being programmed, he said. Is he protecting Diddy, pointing out bias, or keeping personal experiences private? Industry rumors about Marlon and Diddy have floated for years. Gene Deal may also have insider info on him and other celebrities, but none wanted their stories told, so they stayed out of the spotlight. The most controversial moment in the documentary? The secret footage of Diddy before his arrest. It shows him in his hotel, on speakerphone with his lawyer, plotting moves, venting, and strategizing. Diddy had hired a videographer, maybe for his own record, but somehow 50 Cent got it. Diddy's lawyers pulled it stolen and demanded Netflix remove the documentary. Netflix claims it was obtained legally, but the source remains a mystery. Did the videographer sell it out of revenge? Or did 50 Cent pay for it? Meanwhile, Gene Deal tells how he once protected Misa Hilton, Diddy's ex, proving just how serious Diddy's power could be. Diddy knows Gene Deal won't back down. The documentary shares Eric's story, a rapper and producer, about seeing Diddy attack Misa in the street and challenge Eric to fight. He didn't. Gene says he would have protected anyone in that situation. Everyone in the industry knew Diddy had a history of violence toward women, but people looked the other way. Footage of him attacking Cassie shocked fans. But Gene calls it decades-old behavior. He calls the documentary old news, saying it packaged familiar drama for Netflix without revealing the bigger truths. Many responsible players stayed hidden, and the real story was left out.